Mao and the Freezing Control by Mauricio. One day, in a soccer field in Mexico, Monterrey, in the morning at 10:20, ready for the soccer game in the school Irish, in field number 4, with Mauricio's friends in April and spring, the game was going to start in 10 minutes. So it was going to start again at 10:30. Then, at 10:35, we were warming up. Then, the 5 minutes passed. Then, Mao was just starting a soccer game, a good soccer game. 11 players in the red team, the Eagles, and 11 players in the green team, the Irish. It was 10 of the morning in spring, kids running and passing and shooting to the goalkeeper. Where is the goal? Beautiful trees with the sun in their leaves, and beautiful grass wet because it rained at night. So the wet, cold water drops that came happily from the sky and went down to the grass. Kids shouting, pass it to me, no, to me, and the birds pewing, pew, 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 pew. Hola, hola. But then a kid named Fred kicked Mao accidentally. Hiya! Mao was so furious and red in the face because Fred kicked him, and Mao was hurt too. But he was angrier than hurt. His face was changing color, pink, then orange, then red. Then a little man appeared in Mao's right shoulder, and it was red, and said, "Kick him back, Mao." But then another little man, white, appeared in Mao's left shoulder and said, "Mao, no. No, Fred just kicked you by accident. Do not kick him back." Mao's face was so red. He looked like he was so angry that Mao kicked Fred back. Then Fred started to chase Mao. Then the right shoulder man gave Mao a control. So Mao was so curious, he said to the right shoulder man, "For what is this? So you can escape."
Ran all the way back to Ghost Town. Ghost Town? Where in the world was that?
It starts again at 0. So when you go back,
"So you can escape," said the little man. So Mao was so curious that he clicked the button of the control to see what can happen. So Mao clicked the red button that was big and fat in the control. Mao closed his eyes and it sounded like a zip. Mao immediately opened his eyes and everyone was freezed. But Mao wasn't. So Mao said, "So you can freeze everyone." Ha, 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 ha. Mao laughed. So then Fred was going to kick Mao. So Fred was going to kick Mao. He freezed everyone. He put another player. And then from the other team and click the bottom plate. And everyone freeze. And he put another player from the team and click the bottom plate. So Mao freed the other player from his team. Mao didn't got hurt of the kickings of Fred, but the kicks from Fred's team got hurt, and no one knew that Mao had a control, so the coach of Fred was punishing Fred. But then, when Mao clicked the red button a lot of times, it froze! Everyone except Mao. "I had never seen something like this before," said Mao. Mao began to imagine all the things he could do. Eat all he want, stay in bed all day, playing with his iPad, not going to school, not losing lessons, ha ha ha. Being left alone and have a party at his house, all by himself, with drinks and chips. Then Mao remembered he was in a soccer game. Fred was going to kick Mao, and the button was stuck, and it was in freeze mode instead of play mode. So in 10 seconds, the kids, the moms, the dad, the coaches, the babies, everyone in the world would freeze. And Mao would have to do his things by himself, like making his food, and he couldn't play with anyone. So Mao turned the button off, then Then the control turned on, Mao turned on. Mao fastly clicked the red button, and we were safe and sound. Then Mao said to Fred, I'm sorry about the kick. And Fred said, sorry too. They tied the game. So Mao wasn't angry, but he didn't win. But he was still happy of not losing the game and having a new friend called Fred. So then Mao went up the car, and now he was going to his soccer and tournament. What is going to happen next? Mao said to himself. So Mao went up the car, and Mao's mom drive the end.